Hi, and welcome once again to Don's Den. This is day 7 of AirVenture 2010, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And as we've told you all week, there are all sorts of airplanes on the ramp here. I mean, man, if you're an aviator, this is like Disneyland for pilots and their families up here. And one of the airplanes that particularly attracted our attention was a famous airplane flown by Eastern Airlines, the Douglas DC-7B. And Frank Moss is here with us. Frank flies this particular airplane around to the air shows. First time in Oshkosh, though, isn't it?
Yeah, this is our first rodeo.
All right, great. Tell us a little bit about the DC-7B. When did it go into service, and when did it go out?
I think about a 58 Chevrolet, somewhere right in there, 57, 58. And at the same time, when they were producing the DC-7C, they were producing the jets. And the jets, the jets pretty well relegated these aircraft to the shorter routes, and eventually almost all of them went out as freighters.
Yeah. 61, 62, the 707 came in, yeah. And what else was about that time? 727, maybe mid-60s in there someplace?
I think I don't know.
Yeah, probably was. Tell me about this particular airplane. How many people flew on this airplane as passengers?
Eastern Airlines had two levels of service, Golden Falcon and Falcon service. And if the airplane was a Falcon service, the whole aircraft was. And you weren't real crowded, nothing like today. You were about 90 passengers. And then the Golden Falcon service was about 60 passengers.
I see.
And it looked like this.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the performance of the airplane. What kind of speeds did we get out of this ship?
You know, it is the fastest piston-powered propliner ever produced. And I'm really not sure how fast it went back then. But today we run around about around 250 knots or so with a power pull way further back than I ever imagined in the old days.
Well, that's very decent.
Yeah, we were Miami, Opelika to, where are we? Oshkosh. 4 hours and 53 minutes and a real pleasant flight.
What's a comfortable length of a runway?
Depending on your weight, we like to have. We run with freighters. We run into 3,900 feet or so, and go out very light. Yeah, we like to look around for at least 5,000 feet though to be comfortable.
Frank, you've flown a lot of airplanes. How's the comfort zone in this airplane flying it?
Oh, it's a Douglas. It's a Douglas. It's comfortable, easy to drive.
Of course, the grand puppy of all the airlines flying was the DC-3, and then, you know, we added some more engines and added some more engineering, and we came up in the DC-7B. I remember flying in, now I'm not going to date myself, am I? But I remember flying in this particular airplane when Eastern had it in service back in the late 50s. And I also remember that there were people smoking cigarettes in this airplane. There was also everybody dressed in ties, jackets. Oh, you just dressed up like you were going someplace when you flew in this airplane.
And they offered you a 4-pack of cigarettes or gum, and you were treated well.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you at Oshkosh. There's no doubt about that. And you had some famous people up in the cockpit with you the other day. Tell us about that.
Oh, we were real fortunate. We had Sully and Jeff, and we had the administrator, who is an aviator, I found out, and it was really enjoyable to have all of them on board.
I know there's quite a bit of, well, I can't call it panic, but concern when they see this airplane fire up outside.
And it does what it's supposed to do. It makes a lot of smoke, very little noise really, and a lot of fire.
Yeah. What are the engines on here?
They're 3350 Curtiss-Wright 3350 turbo compounds.
It's been a real thrill talking to you, and always a thrill to see such a beautiful, beautiful example of this airplane. And I congratulate you for being on the crew and taking your time to bring it up here so everybody could share in a little bit of this history.
And I'd just like to add one more thing to try to give credit where credit's due. I'd like to tell you that we did this, but we didn't. The driving force of most of this is Carlos Gomez. It's his hands. When you look at this interior, you look at the cockpit. It's his hands that literally did that. Yep. Mark Wolf, his boyhood friend, has supported him through this, and Roger Jarman has put in countless hours, and he is the head of Historic Flight Foundation. And those are the people who really deserve the credit on this.
AirVenture 2010 has been a big experience for the American Air Campers Association. It seems like only yesterday, but it was Monday of this last week that we were interviewed by Fast Eddie and Digital Dave, went on to AOPA to be interviewed on their television web feed, and then saw all these great airplanes. We stopped by to see the one-man band, old Mr. Steger down there. He's been here for 23 years. We visited the Ultralights. We visited the Warbirds for a while. We saw all the airplanes on the flight line and got a chance to review the Eastern Airlines DC-7B. But today, as you can see behind me, it's departure day. And this is the day that everybody makes the circle for the dates next year to revisit Oshkosh for AirVenture 2011. And we'll be here, and we hope that you are too, for all the activity at AirVenture 2011. In the meantime, this is Don Abbott for the American Air Campers Association, signing off for Don's Den from the biggest air show in the world.